Hello, it is Lord Haywire. I'm streaming some 2D 4X today. I accidentally started my stream when I opened OBS. Uh, so there was like a quick it said it was for 7 seconds, but I immediately, clicked stop streaming, but whatever. I am making a 2D 4X video game, and in Godot and C# we're using the 4.4 stable branch of Godot. Oh, I was curious what this is. I was ignoring it up till now. Currently, we are working on recruiting troops well, they're subordinates. They're not always troops. These are test ones. We'll delete those soon. Hopefully today. That's what I'm hoping to get to. But there was a bug yesterday that I left myself, which is, there's two things. One is it dawned on me that it'd be very, very useful to have like a summary of their overall skills somewhere. We're not going to do this today, but I just added it to the list. So when you're trying to pick troops or subordinates or leaders or whatever, there's a lot of numbers and things. Like they have these numbers, they have their attributes, and then they have their skills. And it dawned on me that it'd be nice if there was like like a average of everything, like of their attributes and their. So you could just quickly be like, oh, okay, this person's whatever, and you don't have to dig through so many numbers. I added that to this list here to my project in GitHub. But what we're working on is there was a bug yesterday where once you recruited someone and recruit them twice, I ran it this morning right before I started streaming, and it didn't do that, I don't think. We probably can get rid of good to equip. Let's get rid of that thing. Good to equip. Here, I forgot to click this other button here. There we go. I think that's working. My little chat bot that connects YouTube with OBS and Twitch with OBS has changed how it operates, so I'm not 100% sure it's working. Good to equip is null. We can get this out of here for now. Somebody sent me yesterday. I was talking about how I didn't really know how to debug, and someone sent me a video to improve my debugging skills. So either they're trolling me or they were listening to what I was saying. They're like, "Yeah, you don't know how to debug, man. You need to learn." So I'm gonna watch that at some point and hopefully learn something. So this is this little bug. Before we jump in this, I just wanted to take a quick look at this and see if I could find. There's this is like a new warning that has appeared. Let's see what this thing. Change the update process on the camera node to physics. Process call. Oop. I have several cameras that set the line above. This is C#, not GD script. I wonder why they suddenly want that to happen. Can I click and go to this? You can't. All right, well, we only have one camera. We only have one camera here. It just dawned on me there is also a camera here. I don't think... no, we do have different things. They are different scripts. So this one's under physics process. And the other one is... I remember I tried to make the camera script work for both. This one's also under physics process. But what they're saying is something I don't understand. Do you mean I tried this process mode but the warning is still there? Process callback. In Godot, when using process and the The camera's automatically forced to update in the process mode, overriding manual settings. There's more. This is AI, so we gotta watch what it says. You know, sometimes it just pulls shit out of its ass. If it had an ass. Funk. Follow a player pass. This is interesting that it actually. Oh, look at this. Huh, this is where it stole the information from. In Godot, when using physics interpolation, the camera is automatically forced to update in the process, overriding manual settings. The engine aims to smooth out the... Oh, so this, I wonder if this is related to that jitter that we had, because it suddenly just stopped doing the jitter. If you have camera 2D node and you enable, the engine will automatically over. So where do I enable or disable that shit? Is this something over here? And why would it even have the option to enable it if you can't enable it? Physics inherited. Interpolation. Inherit. Interpolation. What have I to say on? We have two of those, though. Physics interpolation. Which one are we on? We're on the main one. The other one shouldn't run. I often wonder, like with stuff like this, why these bugs are so mysterious. What I mean is, like, why don't they have just tell you what to do? If this is obviously something that it's required, so what happens if I turn it off? Because it was inheriting. Physics interpolation. We'll have to do it to the other one too. It seems like it should be off. Yeah, so that was off. It's weird to me. So are we gonna get that jitter back? It's kind of hard to tell. The jitter doesn't look like it. All right, well, that was easy. That's not the bug I was talking about. I just, for some reason, all of a sudden, that was annoying me. So I wanted to make it stop. So let's, we can actually do it from this run here. Let's go back to, oh, well, he's gone. Well, let's send him back. Let's see if we can recruit people here. What happens here? Yeah, this is another bug that's, so when I mess with the time scale, which is currently on 8, and you can't click on these when this is open. There's a note in here to make this. We're gonna have to cover that up because it's tempting. It makes it seem like you click on those, but you can't. Anyways, when the time scale's up, it makes these things extremely sensitive, and so I've got to somehow figure out how to like make this not part of the rest of the time scale, which is going to be interesting. It might be easy, might not be. Actually, let's not fuck with this right now because I think we're about to run into a whole other ball of wax there where we're going to be recruiting people from other counties. So that we're going to have to write that in later. So before we jump into that garbage, let's fix this current problem. So the current problem seems to be that, so when it's at 0, if we set it to 1, it works, but let's like set it to 3. So each day it should check for 1 person. So it's not a fast process. It's not supposed to be. That's part of the game mechanic here. So the first day, we got a bad roll. So wonder why it said this person is idle. do we care? Is Lisa in here? No, Lisa's not in our group. So we gotta have another day pass to see if they recruit the next day. So we have to wait till 4 a.m. Low stockpile goods. Let's also turn off that one. Low stockpile goods. So this is why people were saying that, what the fuck? Stockpiled. People were saying that I needed to learn how to debug better is because I just put all these GD prints in everywhere, and that's some amateur shit, is from what I understand. And that's what noobs do, and you can't be a noob forever, I guess. But what were we looking for? We were going to see if this person was actually recruited. We got a bunch of skill checks here. We need these skill checks for something, but we should have hits. We should have hits. I was just trying to think. We got to make this part work anyways, so maybe we should make this work because it'd be easier to look at instead of here, and it's already. But we should have hit this again, and it seems to have skipped it. What is this name of this person? Jane? Jane is on recruit. The number of subordinates does match, so nothing is being done. You're telling me you hired 3 people at once? I don't believe you. Only 1 day passed. Maybe there's some weird loop where it goes through each county. We'll figure this out. So this skill check, maybe we have to comment that out because it is. Look at all this. We're doing because we have a bunch of skill checks every day. Many things get skill checked. We could actually look by recruit. Yeah, so that's kind of interesting that didn't work. Let's let another day go by and see what happens. Yeah, they're set on recruit, but they're actually not recruiting anything because they think that that's matching. How are we testing this? We're testing the list. I wonder if we can look at this list easily. So I don't think we can, but actually we might be able to. Let's see. So this is in Portland. I can't remember where we put. I think it's, nope, this is for battles and shit. Where did I stick? No, it wouldn't be under the county. Not there, at least. It should be under the county data. And then heroes and, oh, it says 0. Yeah, so there's a weird thing where I can't figure out why this does this. On certain ones, but you can like go a different way and get to them a lot of times. Not here, though. Oh, you got to go to factions. For some reason, it works on factions. And then you go in the faction data, and then you go into the counties the faction owns. I think this is 0 is the one. Then we would go to heroes and county list. Then we can look at the heroes. Jane Cooper. Here, so it has 3 people in here. So this is Anna Griffin. Does that seem like that's the right person? Anna Griffin is in here. Okay, so there's something wrong. I hired all 3 people at once, and it shouldn't do that. It should only hire 1 person a day. That's like supposed to be them walking around, the village, the post-apocalyptic village, and talking to people. That's the simulation there that's supposed to be happening. So that's not quite right. I mean, it's nice that it hired all 3, and maybe that's why it was weird where it looked like it was hiring 2 people. It actually never says that it recruited anybody, though. It should have said recruitee. Oh, no, there was 1 recruitee. They're just not rainbow like I thought they would be. So it said 1 person, Anna Griffin. Who's the second person in this? Is it the same person? No, Virginia Roberts. Not there. Whoops. Oh, that's kind of interesting. I'm a big, if I misclick, I just keep holding down the button and drag away, but this doesn't, it remembers that's weird. But it doesn't matter. What was her name? Virginia Roberts. Maybe we should do the other thing first. I think maybe we should do this part first, because it would make life a lot easier for debugging. We just had the things here. And I was thinking we make this a button. So we would make this a button so you could click through and see the person, like the button would have their name on it, and you would click through, it would be clickable. So let's just do that real quick. Let's do that real slow, and we'll have that done. So the first thing we're going to need is find where this thing is. We should have a butt ton of these labels. Yeah, there we go. Subordinate VBox. Subordinate VBox. Then let's add a child. It's going to be a button. And we'll put this button at the top. And we'll put some gibberish in here. Gibberish with 2 S's. What does this look like over here? Sometimes it will add it on the, when you add something over here, it will add it. But it did not. So we're going to call this a subordinate button. We're going to go down to our UI shit down here. UI scenes is what we're looking for. Where did I have that? Here it is right here. We're going to drag this. Look at these are all, look, I'm not consistent. This is all one word and this one isn't. It looks like I changed my, it's like, no, they're all one word except for that one. Huh. Okay. We're going to put this in here and we're going to call it subordinate. I have it right there. Net button. We're going to leave a space just to see what happens. So now we have a scene down here. I wonder if, though, actually, now that I think about it, I wonder if it is here and we just can't see it. Let's do this. Let's stop this. Let's go back to main. Let's save this. Let's pop this puppy open here. Yeah, so gibberish is what we want. We want it to look just like that. So that looks right. And this isn't going to be in a scroll box. I hate this, how this scroll thing looks. There's going to be a beautification process at some point. It's where I'm going to have an artist that'll work with me. So then we're gonna go back to here. We'll attach a script to this thing. Yes, I was thinking, is that the way we want to do it? And yes, the answer is yes. Where's my attached script thing? I guess I can't do it there. New script. Subordinate button. See, there's no space there. Wonder if I'm screwing myself for later. UI stuff. We're in C#. And, all right. My mouth is very dry today. I don't know what's going on. First thing we're going to need is a population data. Do we need to save this? I don't think we do. So to save with the, oh, we need a namespace. To save with the resource saver, it's got to be exported. And I don't think this is going to be, because you can't save it with the screen open. So we're going to need a population data, lowercase population data. You know, I was saying yesterday that I've been watching other streamers that are C# streamers, Godot C# streamers, and noticing, because I'm, you know, not that good. And I've been noticing things they do differently and trying to learn from that. And one of the things I noticed one guy did was he had, these were all getter setters, and I wonder why. I was wondering why. Like what's the, oh, this is going to be public though. I'm so used to having export in front that I just wonder why this one's, I guess it's just my brain is weird there. You know, it's weird too. When I started the stream, my title had reverted back. All right, so the first thing we're going to want to do is this, and then probably on ready, public override ready. The fuck is this? Attempted text edit with another edit is in progress. What the fuck? Get out of here. What is going here? Well, Control Z our way to freedom. Oh, we can't. What about this? What the fuck just happened? Well, another edit is in progress. What are you talking about? I'm listening to, you guys can't hear it. I'm listening to Sunset Rubdown. They're like a side band of Wolf Parade. They're like just good. Well, that was strange. They're just like good Genera rock. Okay, so then on this, we're gonna go this text equals population data. We're gonna do this differently. We're gonna go $, and squigs, except that we want this to be first name. Oh, come on, fingers. And then we'll space. No, we will not space. Then we'll do this. Then we'll do squigs, population data, last name. So that's all we're going to do is we're going to set this. We'll have something in here like a signal for when what the button does. But we're not going to do that. So on ready, we're just going to set that. I probably should make this a... Do I have like a thing that gets their name? A method? I probably don't, and I probably should. Yeah, I probably should have a method that just gets their name. Oh yeah, we gotta get rid of this constructor. It makes me not want to update this. It's a pain in my ass. I guess we don't with what I'm talking about. We don't need that. Public void get full name. Public. No, we need the particular. We need that one. String. Return a string, not a void. String, and then we're gonna go return. Can I just put? I wonder. No, I can't do that. We'll say string full name equals $. First name space last name. And then we're going to return full name. And then we'll go back to whatever the fuck we were just working on. Camera controls, you can get out of here. What was I doing? Where was this thing? Subordinate VBox? No. Population? No. Though that is something we are going to have to look at some point. Again, it was some sort of button. Where'd you open up button? I feel like, so this opens up the new, when you open up a new script, it opens it up at the end of where you have something pinned. And I think it should open up at the end. It seems, because then might have a fucking crowd of shit like I do right there. All right, so then we'll just go population data, get full name, and we'll do that. So that will return the full name, and hopefully that's going to work. That's going to set the text. Then we're going to go back to our population description control, and so then like on where is this thing? Call deferred on visibility chain update description info. So let's go down here and see. So we have this subordinate update number of subordinates. Was that working? I guess we're not running it, so we can't tell. Let's close this down. Let's see. I think it was, no, it was definitely working. I remember now. So update number of subordinates, and then we'll do subordinates VBox container update. We're going to have to put a script on here. So where was that puppy? So then on here, we'll public void update subordinates. And then this will update the subordinates. And what we'll do, I guess we'll do this. Yeah, we'll do this. We'll go like update subordinates here. And we'll pass in, what are we passing in? We're going to pass in the heroes, which is this guy. So we're just going to pass in the list of what it is, subordinates, hero subordinates. And this thing doesn't know that it needs that. So this is a straight up list, or is it a Godot? I think it's a Godot. Where the fuck was that thing? I think this is a Godot. Yeah, it is. List. Man, the things I've learned. Array. This is a list of population data. And it's going to be called hero subordinates. I kind of would like to watch a 10-minute video. 10 minutes might be a little long. A 5-minute video of a summary of what I've learned from the beginning. So I'm on video 200 something, 227, like a compilation. Probably wouldn't want to. 5 minutes probably isn't long enough, but summary of how I've improved, if I've improved. Like I know I've improved, but like compared to other people. I also don't do enough programming. I needed to do some more. So anyways, this is going to go through here, and then we're going to for each this thing, for each population data. Yep, that's what we want. And we're going to instantiate. We're gonna need a couple things in here. First off, we're going to need an export. This is private. This is going to be a button. Subordinate button. And then, actually, I think I'm going to move this to the top. I don't know. Then we're going to have a button here. We're going to do, this is going to be called, the problem is we can't call it, oh wait, there's a way I do that. It's not a button, it's a packed scene. This is a packed scene. I was like, I haven't done this for a while, and I was like, there's a way I do this, and I can't remember what it is. So we're going to have a button called subordinate button, and it's going to equal subordinate button. And we're going to instantiate. I forget. No. We got to go subordinate pack scene instantiate. I haven't instantiated something in a long time. Oh, Jesus Christ. Not that. Okay, so we're going to instantiate that. Then we need to add it to the child, which is actually this thing. So then we need to add child, that thing. And before we do that, though, we need to delete them all. So I always write this thing with this little loop that loops through and deletes them all, and I feel like it should be easier. We're gonna clear subordinate buttons. Generate that, and then we'll just like for each subordinate button in Get children. Children. Do you want that? Sure, we can put that there, right? It doesn't matter. Okay, it does. Looks like it does matter. Of this node inside of the collections array, this non-generic method cannot be used with typed arguments. All right. Fine, fuck you then. I kid. And then we go subordinates button queue free yourself. What's your problem? See, this is what I was thinking of, is this casting thing it wants me to do. What? That's in. Do we really need to do that though? Sometimes it wants me to, and sometimes it doesn't. Anyways, there we go. What do you want? Unnecessary assignment of value to population data. I mean, that's true. So how would I do this? I could have a for loop. So, I mean, what does it say? Var, no. Yeah, it wants me to convert it to a for loop. Because we don't care about the population data, because I've changed. Oh no, we do care. We do care about the population. So probably we got to do this a different way. We could probably delete this script. What I was gonna have it do is assign this. Yeah, let's just delete this script. So I was gonna have it assign the population data to this, but you know what's gonna happen is we're gonna be struggling with how fast things happen. So let's just not worry about that. Joker, how's it going? I was telling chat that somebody sent me a video on how to debug, and I wasn't sure if they were being an asshole or not. I know they weren't. All right, we don't need that. Let's see. Where were we? We were under this thing. So we'll just do this here. But we'll put this subordinate. A subtle hint of get your shit together. All right, then we use yeah, that's fine. Go away. What do you want? All right, we can delete this though now. We don't need this anymore. Subordinate button. I'm sure, save it. So we can go back to here. We got to unattach this script. It never was attached anyways. So that's somehow great. UI scripts. Oh, it's attached to the other one. That's fine. Because the other one just attached. Whoa. This is just going to be a button then. Because it doesn't matter. And this is just going to be a button. Yeah, see, now the cast is screwing me up. Well, it wants me to switch that? Okay. All right. It's fine. Go, do it. All right. There we go. Let's go back to our main and unattach this now missing script. There we go. So, yeah, we're just going to ignore that. It does that shit all the time. It always has something down there when you're working in C#. I don't know why. It's always throwing shit. Okay, let's open up this guy. And it didn't work. All right, so we need to invalid cast. The cast iterator. I like a cast iterator. I think we need to attach this thing. Subordinate pack scene. There we go. Where are you guys? Where are you? Yeah, whenever you're doing anything, it just starts throwing errors all the time. and I've given up caring about it. Are we actually casting this though? Because I don't want this. I want this to blow away everything. Subordinate VBox container. Is this the right thing? No. That would be wrong too. So maybe let's do this. Let's put this button back. Let's put, we got to put a thing. This would have destroyed the wrong thing. So maybe that was better to have that there. This is also a VBox, I think. Where are you? Yep. VBox container. It's not a list though. Subordinates. See, we can't do that because that's what this thing is called. List VBox container. And then down here, we'll go subordinates. Give me a break. Come on. You know what I'm typing. Okay, maybe it doesn't know what we're typing. Then we'll do that. And then we'll go back over here. We'll build this real quick. How many boxes do I have? V boxes or H boxes? That is the question. That hundreds? No, probably not hundreds. I would guess that 30. 30 would be my guess for like V boxes and H boxes. That would be. So I left the gibberish in here. So the gibberish one should be deleted and a new nothing should be put in. So that's the hope here. Yeah, so there's a nothing in here. So now we'll test it with 1. Okay, so Jeremy was put in there twice, and he's at the bottom for some reason. And it's also over this. I don't think I thought about that part. No, I did. Oh, look, the thing's not here. I wonder if he's actually in there twice, though. Let's look at the remote again. Let's look at factions, the shipbirds, faction data, counties, Portland, heroes in county, hero subordinates, just 1. Oh, now he's gone. Well, that's strange. Did I click delete? So let's see what we did wrong here. We had that gibberish one. We're passing in this thing. This is on the subordinates VBox container. This is, I don't know what that is. This does, so this is fired when it updates this when, and it's passing in this thing, and it updates this when updates the description. So it gets the number, and it gets this. And let's make sure it's only happening once, because it could have been happening twice, and it never had any effect. 1 ticket per cut. Let's hide this other one as well. This test one. Because maybe this isn't working right, the deleting of things. But if it wasn't working right, it wouldn't name it. Because this is for each one of these, it's supposed to add the child to not here. This needs to be on subordinates. This needs to be on the list VBox container. It probably, I don't know what it did, but it was, let's see what we did now. That's why the scroll thing wasn't there either. But if it is adding it twice, it could be the original problem that we wanted to work on. And I said it would be easier to see. We got 8 this time. It'd be easier to debug with this thing working. So we got 1 there. Okay, so now we have Harold, and then we need to a whole shit ton of them. And it should only happen once per day, but we saw earlier that wasn't happening. Okay, so it's not working right. I mean, it's working somewhat right. For one, we didn't hire enough people. We don't have enough people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. We don't. We don't have enough people to test the scroll box part. Why did it only do 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It should have done all of those people and then also hits. It looks like we're a little close here with this box. And this button doesn't do anything yet. The stupid focus thing, though. The RPG maker. Let's let another day pass. I'm just curious. Well, that was not what I expected. Is this thing like looping through? It's not supposed to. Kelly, Harold. So this is the issue. It was happening before. Whoops. Here, move this out of here. This is an issue where I think it has something to do with how we're getting the list of subordinates, like how the actual recruiting is happening, because it's not happening right anyways. It's only supposed to happen once a day, and we actually don't have a what happens if there's too many. We don't have like a check for that. So what does it do in that case? So let's look, because I don't have a if it fills up. So the first thing we saw, I should have checked. Actually, we can do it. We can restart and do it. I'm wondering if it's just not showing them, or if there's actually not all the people are there. So we can test that easily though by putting this up to whatever 15. 4. Okay, so this one went all the way there, but we don't have our scroll thing. Actually, this doesn't look that bad. I thought this was going to look terrible. I mean, it looks terrible, but it doesn't look as bad. Is this name even centered? I don't think this name's centered. Doesn't this look like there's more on the right than there is on the left? Maybe just how I'm looking at it. It says centered. Where's my focus thing? Stupid focus. I actually didn't do anything to this. It just was automatically expanding. But I have a feeling that there's something else going on here. All right, so first thing, let's check to make sure that this isn't, the scroll bar is just the thing that's not working. So we want to make sure that we want to look to see in the remote here, under the UI, under population description control, all the way down here, buried. 30 might be a little bit conservative of a number. So there should be something underneath here. Oh wait, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Does that match this one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we got our, that's the right number, but why did we only recruit 7? Is there unhelpful people? Well, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 9, but that includes the hero, so he can't be in here, and this person's unhelpful. So that didn't quite work out. So what we got to do is go back to our globals here, and once again, we're back to that same issue that I always have, which is, did I edit this thing in the inspector, or did I edit it in here? It looks like I probably edited it. We're going to start with 18. That way we can get a huge list. Let's go back to here. We'll test this, and then we got to figure out the other issue of where this, what's happening. We're blowing away our subordinates list when this happens, and there's probably something simple. Let's go up to like 15, 16, sure. We have 19 people living here. 18 of them are idle. I guess it's not counting the hero. That's strange. We'll go to 4 o'clock. Floor AM. Okay, and so now this is working, and the scroll thing is working. So that was what we wanted to test there. We'll make these buttons work in a second. So he recruited as many people as he could, but it doesn't work that way. It's not supposed to work that way. So let's go to our recruit thing here and figure out what is going on. So there also should be a bunch of skill checks. How does this thing work? Oh, here's the problem. We're taking the number of subordinates to hire. That's wrong. We just want 1. We just want to take 1. Florida AM? What? So so ChatGPT helped me write this, and I don't think I think this would is what you would assume. So I'm not. Oh wait, no, we are taking this, but then this recruitee, we're getting the first one of the list. How are we adding? Yeah, we're adding them. I was thinking maybe we were replacing. I still don't know if I like not putting equals true here. I know this is supposed to be more readable, but sometimes I just look at this and say, what the fuck is this thing doing? What is this checking? Okay, so we get this list. Filter out those with their loyalty below a threshold and who have the unhelpful perk. We definitely know the unhelpful part is working. So then it just dawned on me yesterday when I was talking about the perks thing. We could have used this contain key, but I kind of winged it in a shittier way. And then it's supposed to check if it already contains this person. Then it orders whoever's left, and then it takes the number of subordinates, which is the number that we need, and then it gets the recruitee equals this. And then what are we doing with this recruitee thing? I mean, we're adding them down here, but what do we do? We're getting some information about the recruitee. We should be, yeah, I was about to say we should be testing their looking at their loyalty, which we are. Then we get this perk bonus, and it adds just this person. If the skill check is correct, it adds this one person, but why is it adding the whole list? Oh, Because there's this right here. Why is this here? Okay, we don't need that. I literally think that um, ChatGPT said in a note, it said you put this down here maybe. Like this might be what you're going for. So I actually am not gonna blame ChatGPT this time because I'm almost positive it said something like, yeah, no, it's this right here. It's this line right here. It's just like, yeah, if this is what you're going for, then do this. But no, we don't want that. What we want is just to add one person per day. So there's that. Let's run this again. We'll put it on like 20 people again. Yeah, I remember when I was messing with resources, I couldn't figure out why sometimes it was so sensitive. Like I was messing with this part, why these buttons are so sensitive sometimes, and now I know it's the time thing. We're gonna have to figure out what that problem is. Lewis Cooper, I feel like I've gotten your name 100 times. Let's put 20. Let's close. Let's speed this up to 8 because if this works correctly, Lois, we have recruited Lois. So Lois has been recruited. So then, no, her name's Lois James, which is Lois Lane? Lois, no. She's no, or Lewis. No, Lewis and Lois. Then let's run it for the next 4 o'clock. And now we've recruited Laura Garcia. Well, this is right so far. Let's double check this. This looks right. It does make it a lot easier to debug by putting that stuff in the UI. Uh-oh. What happened? Okay, so then the skill check happened and it failed. He failed his skill check. So let's look at Rose, just out of curiosity. Okay, so Rose's loyalty is 80. See, this is what I was talking about. Oh, we have 2 Roses. Which Rose is it? It's probably this one with 100, right? This is what I was talking about earlier where I was saying this is just going to be like, there's going to be so many numbers thrown at your face that it's going to be kind of, we're going to need to have like an overall skill thing. So it's easier to sort through this. We're definitely going to have to also have a button for sorting these up, all of these columns. We're going to have to basically invent Excel, and that's going to be a bummer. Maybe put formulas in here. Okay, so it's got to be Rose Russell, right? So her loyalty is at 100, so he should get a bonus to that. So let's go back and look at, see, this is once again my complaints about search. It should search, not filter, because now we have to go fucking dick around here. All right, so number of subordinates is less than wanted, so the recruiting has started. Rose, the tribute level is 44. Oh my god. I wanted to see the one before. But we got all these skill checks in here. It's a lot of skill checks. Everybody's checking their skill for research. Who's this ding dong? Oh, this is the worst you could roll. I guess that's gonna happen a lot with so many roles that you're gonna get those outliers that you know. Jesus Christ. See, if only you could search. Good God. All right, let's comment that shit out. So I wanted this in here for the test we're doing right now, but that's okay. Those three can go. Can we get to it? Can we do it? There's research was completed. Oh my God. Okay, here we go. All I wanted to make sure was that the tribute was at 44. So what were skill check roll was 84, which is greater than 52. So let's do this math. The tribute level is 44. Additional bonus. Oh, so this doesn't tell us the skill level though. The skill level we got to look over here for their leadership of 22. So they got a plus 10 for their perk, a plus 20 for their tribute level. So that's 30 on 22 is 52, and they rolled bad. All right, I just wanted to double check that because it was time to double check. All right, so now this person is gonna check again, and now Rose Russell was because the thing passed. So I think this is now working. Let's like let it run until we run out of people and see what happens. Like this would be catastrophic in game if you did this. You would. I mean, I guess not. If you're gonna go fight a war, maybe not. But you would have to have a nice stockpile of stuff. But let's let it run until it runs out of people. Whoops. Wrong button. But we're just gonna let this run for like 20 minutes here. Maybe I'll go when I go on my break in 4 minutes. I'll just let the game run. I don't think I've done that before. Like just let it run forever. All right, we're gonna try to recruit 50 people, which is impossible because we don't have 50 people. We have 19 people. I'm gonna put a note in while we wait for this because I just thought of that. We need to make sure that. Right, exactly. No, I could totally see that happening the minute, and then I come back and there's like, 6,000 errors because they're just compiling on top of each other, not, compiling. What was the thing I was going to add? Make sure recruiting doesn't work in enemy counties. It's a key component there. Did you release your video, your tutorial for your Saturday? I shouldn't even ask because I know you always do. It's very reliable. All right, let's go back over. Oh, look at this. We're getting bugs. Yeah, we're getting one bug a day. It's like, hey, there's no people. I wonder who was trying to recruit. Oh, it's because it's returning null. And it's like, yeah, that's good. I like it. I like it. I mean, I don't like that it's broken, but I like that my hypothesis. So now Martha Roberts, Pamela Wood. Man, these names suck. Ralph Nelson. Come on. These are like generic names. So I got a list of 100 first, like the most common 100 first names and 100 last names. And that's what I did. I added it. It was dumb. Look how dumb these people's names are. There's probably some. I think I know a Kevin Young. I'm surprised there's not more Joshes. It's like everywhere I go, there's a goddamn Josh. All right, should we count these people? Okay, this sucks. So it just dawned on me. That sucks. All right, so number of subordinates, we need to have like that number of subordinates wanted or something like that. And then we show an actual number because now I have to count this and I don't want to count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we have 4. Oh, this is overlapping. It's overlapping. Okay, what did I count? 14? Everybody's idle? That's not right. Oh, it's probably when this broke. The whole thing broke. I don't want to count this either because I don't know if they're helpful or not. Because I'll have to, because I turned off that thing. What a pain in my ass. See, this first person. Well, what is their name? Anna Gonzalez? Oh my god. That's not what we wanted. I want this. We're just going to assume that's working. Sent GIF. Oh, I got to bring this over here. Is it about enums? All right, I'm going to bring this over. This looks like enums. And my love of enums is fire rate. Yeah, look how. What is that? Is that an enum attached to? What is that? Is that a resource? It's probably a resource, right? Because I see other things appearing. How much the fire rate of a knife? How many stabs you can get in? Weapon type is enum, and then what is it attached to? Because you're not clicking on the thing. Like, if that was a resource, you would click on the resource to expand it. It's automatically updating. I guess I'll have to watch this tutorial. I shouldn't. Can you type in what the whole tutorial is in chat, please? Start at the beginning. Be very clear. And type quickly. Because I don't want to. I don't want to wait. I don't want to wait. I want to read it all at once. Crystal, how's it going? Yeah, we're just going to assume this is working right, but that's wrong. See that little thing? You know what we should check too? It's just some other random person. All right, so that works. Let me look at my VBox. And then I'm going to take a quick break. New Joker released a tutorial and he sent me a GIF of it. And I was like asking him all these questions are basically that the tutorial would have told me if I just watched the actual tutorial. So so is that in? I'll watch it. I'm gonna stop asking questions because it's not fair. What is going on over here? So, Crystal, I just was thinking of you because I was jokingly saying that. Let me look up what number I'm on. So I'm on episode 227, and I was saying that I would like to watch like a 5-minute summary of how much I've learned since I started, and of the 227 videos, they're almost all 3 hours long. So, and it's 681 hours of video. So I need somebody to summarize that down to 5 minutes to see. Because I definitely have improved my programming skills, but it'd be interesting to see how things have changed. But obviously, and then I was like, I don't know if 5 minutes is long enough, but who wants to watch themselves for 5 minutes? 10 minutes is too long. So we need to put a check in here for when there aren't any. If this returns null, we want it to not break. But I'm going to take a quick break. Speaking of breaking, I'm going to take a quick break, and I will be back in less than 5 minutes. I turned off my music that you guys can't hear. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I had a question. I'm going to turn off this first, though, and start my music. You guys can't hear. I had a question for you, Crystal, if you're still around. Basically, are you worried about bandwidth concerns? So Crystal made a site that, and I think it's live now, right? If you're still there. I go on break and the oh yeah, we got to do this. We got to do that too. We got to do a bunch of stuff. This was the problem though, was this thing. So we'll get that out of there. So this is the old one, and it's obviously not working. So we'll get rid of this and this. And let's see what we got here. So first step, so I'm glad I put this in here because I had some thoughts. So first thing we got to do though is make it so that this, if this returns null, if oh, I guess we could do it the way it suggested. Then we add that in there, and then else we'll put in GD prints. We'll do the rainbow one to keep there are no more recruits available. And then we'll do this. Yeah, we gotta have that in there, otherwise I'll lose it in the mess of all my GD prints. Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch that video on how to debug. We could change the number of, I probably should have changed the number of of recruits. Since I gotta restart it anyways, we'll do that. So that there's a very small number of population. We'll do like 3, and then we will hit play here, and then we'll put 10 in, and we'll run out. And so we don't have to wait for 18 attempts or more if the person has a shitty whatever. Charles Smith. We got 10 now. And we'll wait. No bandwidth concerns. So like if I'm uploading or linking to 1080p and people, what was that red thing? Okay, people are starving, huh? What was the deal with these people being idle? They should be scavenging. What did I type over? People uploading or linking. I came back. I try to come back early every time, but it doesn't always work. People are linking to 1080p and downloading 1080p. It's live, right? You can post a link if you want. Don't feel obligated, though. What did we call this thing? Recruiter? No recruits. No recruits. They're hired. All the downloads done using a task queue on the server. Hey, oh, it's not live? I'm going to check it out once it is. I just want to fuck around with it, you know? So this is working, but we're not getting this else here. Did I put this in the wrong part? So this must be returning something every time. Wonder what it's returning. My boss, if I figured out that if I say, yeah, I'll do that right now, they think that means that I'll be done in like 3 minutes. So sometimes it takes 3 minutes for the fucking website to load that I'm working on. Now, I'm not doing web design, but like the admin panels and stuff. So I've changed how I say things with like, yeah, I'll work I'll work on that right now. Give me like 2 hours or something, even though it's like a 10-minute thing, but just in case. So yeah, you got to manage expectations. So what happened here? We hired one person. Oh, we must have had some bad rolls. We could put I was going to look at that overlap and I didn't do it. Okay, so it's trying to, yeah, we could put event things when someone's recruited. Probably we should. The person they're trying to recruit is Brandon, but since I commented out all that crap, I can't see, well, also because this is not a search. Brandon, what's your deal? You have a high loyalty. Ryan. Did we already hire Ryan? Ryan is already hired, so the fuck? I wonder if he's just, what did I call that? What did I put for that GD print thing? I think I commented it out, that one. Recruit skill check. False. So he's just failing. That's the problem, is this guy sucks. False. This Diana's recruit keeps throwing me off. So is it going to try forever currently? I think it, okay, so we recruit, then we get a debug thing. Oh, it's because I moved this up here and it's, so this is null then. So I wonder why this isn't showing. No recruits. Well, I guess it croaked there. You ever have it like you're listening to a band and they like it gives you some remix of their song? I don't know who came up with the idea of remixing songs. It's dog shit. Every remix song has been dog shit. Man, I think we might have to improve the number of scavenging of food. We might have to increase the number because I notice up here they're running out of food quite quickly, even though these people should be scavenging. We might have to set it also so that he always passes his, because this is taking a lot longer for our tests here. But it's working. Yeah, this person's unhelpful. So we gotta let him try one more time after this. So we got to do a couple of things actually. There's a bunch of small things we got to do, and I think we're like to the point where we're not really testing anything. We're just shit's running and it's like choking because it's whatever it's doing. All right. So first off, we have this would be done at this point. If this is null, this is actually would be done. recruiting is done at that point. If it's hitting null, there's two. Well, it's either ran out. Well, it's actually, let's see here. Filter out those with the loyally adjusted below the threshold and those who have if they are already in the list, and those. Okay, so we'll leave that there for now, but probably we're going to get rid of that. So we have so it's going to recruit the correct number of people. How are we getting this number of subordinates? We're passing it in. And so where are we getting that number? Because if that works how I think it's going to work, we don't actually have to, it's going to return null. So if their number of subordinates, we're getting that by subtracting the population, so the number that we've set by the count. So that could, each time it runs this, which is every day, it could return 0. So if this comes back as 0, because there's enough people, well, I guess we should test it. Let's just test it. We'll put one person in, and we know we'll get one recruit. It might take a while, depending on their leadership skill. Leadership skill 1. We still have to fix that. I'm going to put that on my list so I don't forget. Make sure the subordinates list doesn't overlap the recruit aid button. Wait, that's not. We want an E at the end here. Wish I could spell. It's been the plague of my whole life, not being able to spell. I'm beginning, I think I'm like dyslexic or something. There's some sort of like learning disability that I had that, you know, I'm so old that they didn't have that stuff. They just beat you with a stick when you were, no, I didn't get beat with a stick. So what was I thinking? Okay, we're going to test this. Right. You ever run into somebody who's like clearly autistic and you're like, and they're like 50, like my age, and it just was never diagnosed? We just want one. Oh, did we test this? Did we do this right? We didn't test anything. We didn't do anything. We just started it. I think I restarted it. Okay, so Arthur Scott. So this should be equal now. We should be passing in 0. It's weird that we're not getting this else, though. No more. Oh, no more. Well, we still didn't get it. Is this shit saved? My old boss is that way. He would get fixated on stuff. Okay, so this is... you know, we could do this better, actually. Well, it depends. We could do this differently. But I feel like this is actually a pretty good solution for this. If this was returning null, but it doesn't look like it is. Recruitee is Arthur, and then it never, do we have, so what the fuck is going on here? Okay, I don't know what the fuck this song, but it's dog shit. I know you guys can't hear the dog shit I was listening to. So this is returning this list. And then this is getting the first thing off the list. But it's not hitting this. If this is null, it should go down. I'm just making sure that like this is the right, and it should, no more recruits is not happening. Well, we already have this check here. Okay, so that would be right. In this particular case, this would be right because we have this check happening somewhere else where it's checking. It's happening right here. So if this is less than the number of subordinates, it recruits. Else, if it's greater than, it starts firing people. Number of doesn't match. So number of subordinates, number. All right, and there's 5 of them. Okay, there's 4 because this is the first day and this is the second day. Okay, so that works. That part's already working. So that part, we need to change this guy's thing to like 50 and then they run out. Then we should see it should actually happen quite quickly. So here he is, he's going to try to recruit. No more. But this isn't happening yet. There may be a recruit that he's trying to recruit or something. In fact, he recruited somebody. But we're not getting that. Is there a third person? Yeah, he's probably trying to recruit one more person, and they're probably going to fail, but I bet you he tries it forever, is the problem. Yeah, so his leadership, his leadership is 28. Even with bonuses, it's going to be hard for him to accomplish that. So I bet you if we let this run for a really long time, or for her to accomplish it, they're going to pretty much never accomplish it. Oh, there it is. It took a long time. Okay, so that is working too. All right. So that was the problem earlier. It was just that I wasn't letting it run long enough because when it gets down to those last few people, it's going to take a really long time. So probably, we probably gotta make this more. We gotta add this other shit to it. What the fuck is this song? I know you guys can't hear it. All right, so this is happening. So we need to stop them from recruiting when this happens. So we'll put a thing in here. Recruiter needs to stop recruiting when there are no more people in the no more people available for recruitment. And I just had let's check something else though, just to double check. I'm pretty sure that this is going to, good God, it's just a song after song of dog shit. That's the problem with listening to some bands, like I said earlier, that Wolf Parade and Sunset Rubdown or whatever, like good bands, but they're like generic rock. And so I just had a thought here. What happens if they're moving? Is they gonna try to recruit while they're moving? My guess is yes. All right, 4 o'clock has passed. It didn't work. We didn't get any bugs. I don't know why it didn't work. Let's see what happens on this day. So yeah, you get like all of the generic rock crap. It's not recruiting here, or at least it hasn't recruited. What is your thing on? You're on idle? Okay, so I think why this works is that this person isn't on the list. When you start them moving, they're not on the list. Yeah. So that actually having those multiple lists, which I was a little worried about. So it tried. It looked like it tried. And it failed on the first one while they were moving. But then after they get to here, they're taken off the list. So there's I think four different hero lists, and they're on like the visiting hero list, so they're not going to recruit. So that works, except we do need to make sure that the hero doesn't check if they're moving, because they're not allowed to do that. They gotta. So we're passing in the county data in here if I think we can just go, I'm gonna use ChatGPT for this. I want this to check to make sure population data dot it's not really this, is moving is false as well. I think you can put it in the line. I think you can do that. See, like I'm learning something here. Where? It's weird to me that the word where is in here. I don't know why. We got an extra. Lots of extra. Population data token, hero token, token movement, move token is equal to false. But we also, this isn't going to exist a lot. So I think we got to put this question mark here. I'm going to put a note in here. If the hero isn't moving, then recruit. There's another way we could check this, actually. We can check their activity. We'd be checking against a string, though. I guess against an enum? I don't know. Then we wouldn't have to have that null check thing in there. Then we're going to move you to here. We're going to spawn you first. We got a bug. What was it? Yeah. Let's check their activity. Because I think so I was thinking about it, and I don't know why I wasn't thinking about why I didn't mention this earlier. Since they're, I don't know if you're still there. I have all these questions for a JS programmer. I was thinking of fucking around with like a game And then I was a multiplayer game, and then I was like, this actually, because it's mostly text, the game ID I had. I was like, this would probably be easier if it's multiplayer, because you got to register for the game and all that shit. If it was just a website, and I was like, I wonder if it's easier to do it in C# or in JavaScript. You know, obviously I don't know any JavaScript, but I wonder what the limitations are. And I kind of Googled a little bit. Uh, Whereas it's not equal to all enums. I feel like it should be like a JavaScript thing. Feel like JavaScript. I'm gonna look this up. I know I'm in the middle of a stream about something else, but C# websites versus JS website. I feel like JavaScript's just the way that it's done. Oh yeah. I read this last night. So like C# is the server side and JavaScript is the client side. What do you got to do? Like fucking merge that shit together? Like the JavaScript is pulling like an API or something? Man, so everything's over my head. Interactive dynamic content, handling user interactions with strong typing leading to fewer runtime errors, object-oriented promoting code. Yeah. Well, this is also AI. I wonder what someone's personal opinion is. What do these people say on Reddit from 7 years ago? No, we don't give a shit. I was talking about Reddit yesterday. That would be an example of some sort of hate. People just flipping out over something. All right, what does this person say? Casper, how's it going? Do I need to learn JavaScript or can I create a website using C#? I often read online that JavaScript is better for this. Right, exactly. I gotta jump to some different topic completely. Right in the middle of, like I was in the middle of typing. Like it's working on a, wait, let's look at this. Yeah, so it sounds to me like you would do part of it in C#. Then might as well just do it all in JavaScript, right? Oh. The only code that can run in a browser is JavaScript? That's what? That's a strange statement. You can't do anything in the DOM. So I have this irrational rage against now I can't think of the word. Whatever this is. And this, I think they're talking anything in the domain on the page, but I don't actually know. Like, how much time does that save that person to type that? Oh, wait. Learn Dino instead. Huh. Anyways. What were we doing? Back over here. Okay, so all enums, activities, move. What's your problem here? This is not equal to move. All right, let's try that. Did I save it? Yep. Yeah, and so I don't think I'll do that. I could do it in Godot one and then upload a Godot server and all that. But I was thinking since it's got all my text idea has all all the everything it'd be just as easy to do it. It'd be easier to do a website and then instead of having someone have to download a client, basically, is what I was thinking. That's one of those things where there is a point. Just make it a website, you know. If you're gonna do like text base. Oh, I forgot to do what we were checking here. They hired Gary. Yeah. WASP technology. See, what does WASP stand for? Web Assembly Super Punctual. No. Okay, we're going to do this. All right, we're going to do this. Then we're going to move you here. And then we're going to wait till 4 o'clock. And we waited a little too long, but we did not recruit anyone. So now we'll test if they recruit in here, which they shouldn't. And I think we already saw that they won't, so because they're visitors. Okay, so that didn't, so they didn't recruit, but now I had another thought. Let's move them into an allied place and see if they start recruiting at 4 a.m. because they should. There we go, and it works. All right, so that works. You can't. Oh, someone was telling me that. Maybe it was you. I think it was Stinklewinks. He was working on like a project. He was doing like a game jam or something, and he had made a prototype of whatever, and he wanted it to export it, and then it stopped. He couldn't do it, so he was like, "Well, what am I? I gotta switch to GD script," and I think that's what he did. All right, so this works. And they recruit at allied. I mean, they're not allied. They're other places you own. So back to this though. Did this other thing happen? Let's let another day pass. Actually, just for another test here. So we got our 4. So that's right. And then we need to add the other stuff. That's check for recruitment. We're done with this part, I believe, temporarily. So I wouldn't have a choice. Well, I mean, I would make it in Godot and then have a server and then have each person would have to download the client. See, then the problem with that though is then if someone's on Linux, you gotta have a Linux client, and if someone's on whatever, and how are you supposed to inject malicious code into their stuff? All right, so at this point, we need to have the recruiter needs to stop recruiting when there's no, and that's not right, but when there's no people available for recruitment, except we just found you might want to move to another spot. So how are we going to do that for the player to make it less annoying? So let's say you put 50 in here, and you only have a total of 20. Would they just continue to try to? Do you just leave it? So we leave it, let's say that because you could have your guy move around and recruit, but there's actually another problem with that. Let's say you recruit somebody here and you recruit somebody here, they're going to have to move to you when you actually muster them, which is, I wanted time to pass, but I wasn't actually thinking about actually having them move around the board. But that would be better. So I guess we got to do it that way. Every time I add any new thing to my game, there's so many things I didn't think about, or I thought about, and then I changed how I want to do it. All right, so if that's the case, so we got to think about 2 things here. First off, before we do anything, we got to decide, do they stop recruiting when they run out of people? No. I think the answer is no. That's up to the player. We probably should do 2 things. We should have an event log that says when someone's recruited. I think that's probably pretty important. So let's put that in here. That's pretty easy to add to, hopefully. Right here. we will go, I think it's event log dot add, no, instance, add log, and we'll do, you just want a string. We will do, quotes, squigs, pop, recruitee, recruitee, get full name, was recruited by population data, get full name. Hit tab too many times there. All right, so then let's test this. Yeah, then you have to host a server. Hosting servers is not fun. Like, I know it seems like it shouldn't be a big Deborah Haywire. It shouldn't be a big deal, but servers just sometimes they just break. System function. What do we got wrong here? This is my event log. We've seen other event logs. Is it because I'm using this get name? Wasn't I using get name earlier? But I guess that was in a GD print. Was recruited by Deborah. Wait, system string. So it's something else here. Is the recruitee been destroyed at this point? Recruitee added. Janice. Do you know why they did that? Yeah. That's a good true point. Wonder why recruitee get full. Oh. Let's try that again. Yeah, but so I've ran some servers, virtual servers or whatever in the past for a variety of different things, and sometimes they just croak. Sometimes they just jam up. And I actually was kind of surprised by that. So in the good old days, I actually used to have always have a Linux box in my house, and those things would just fucking run. Your whole house could burn down, and your Linux box would just be sitting there running. I had one plugged into the wall, and I had pretty much, it was a web server, and I had pretty much forgot about it. And I needed to move apartments, and I moved a bunch of shit, and it was in this old just total piece of shit computer that I had installed Linux on. I think it was Red Hat. And it was just this old piece of shit computer that's case was all fucked up, and the thing was just and so I'd piled a bunch of crap on it that had first been, I just, set some paperwork on it one day, but it had grown in the pile until it was just covered and stuff. So its fans were covered and shit. Had to move apartments, and I was moving all the crap, and I found it still running down there, just a heat box. And I was like, can I still connect to this thing? And I was able to connect. It was still running fine. With the virtual host, I feel like they occasionally just fucking die, and you gotta manually go in or reboot them from the admin page or whatever. It's not like it was. I guess it's also a testament to how different, how computers are built differently back in the day. You just wave your hand near them now, and they just time to send them back to the manufacturer for repairs. All right, what the fuck were we testing here? We were testing this thing. I guess he failed his recruitment role. There we go. Larry Wood was recruited by Beverly Brooks. There we go. That works. So next, I think we need to add here. I think we're going to need an event log that says that there's no more recruits available in that, so the player knows, you know. You had a dedicated Hyper-V. Wow, with Hyper-V you didn't have any issues? I guess, you know, because I used to have a server for work that had Hyper-V on it. Actually, Hyper-V wasn't that bad, honestly. I thought, you know, because it was above my skill level when this when we set it up. And so whenever in my work, whenever we run anything that's above my skill level, we hire a third party person to come in and like do it, but also show me how to do it or how they did it and whatnot. And at one point, so they set up the Hyper-V thing, but then we also had like an old server laying around, and I decided just to like it was just like, it wasn't used for anything. So I decided to, after I learned, because you know, it's hard to learn if someone shows you one time how to do something. So I set up some Hyper-V stuff on this like fake server. You know, it was a old server, but it wasn't dead yet. It was, you know, end of life, just a piece of shit. But actually, you're right. Hyper-V wasn't that bad, you know, because you're setting it up at a different level, usually, if I remember correctly. Like, not on top of Windows or something. You know what I mean? Like, it's not your Windows 10. Though I think, can you, like, run Hyper-V? Yeah, it's a Windows feature. I don't want to crash my stream here, but let's look at this. Yeah, you can turn it on. I would be... Oh, it's just the management tools. Oh, you probably got to turn on the management tools first. It says it's disabled in my firmware. That makes sense. That makes sense. Because I remember when I was setting up on the server, you set a lot of the stuff on the... This is a long time ago. My memory could be wrong. All right, so we need to put in here... We got a problem. We need to translate this. So it's not a big problem. We just need to add it to our thing. And then we'll add this other thing that I'm about to type out too. Localization. Is this going to work? I guess that worked. Right? Back to important problems. Do your friends appreciate the effort of your... Well, yeah, we can't open it through there. I forgot. Of your hosting stuff for them. So one of my friends had a friend who had a Plex server, you know, like had the files stored in his house, but it was connected to a Plex thing. And he died. So my friend was, after, you know, he went to his funeral and stuff, he's like, it's weird that I can still watch these movies and stuff that my dead friend has. And I was like, at some point, that's going to get turned off. And like months and months passed, like, you know, 8 months passed before like the wife of the dead guy was like, I need to turn this stuff off. Like, oh, I thought you said you for some reason I thought you said you had friends connect. You were hosting your friends' stuff. Where did I get that from? I just pulled that out of my ass. It looks like it was wishful thinking. So we need phrase in here, and we're gonna want. So was recruited by. See, this isn't gonna translate correctly. Was recruited by. Nope. You know, you can pass variables in through this thing. Maybe we should fuck around with that, though it will derail my whole stream. I think you do like %s and you pass in a string. I guess it doesn't really matter right now, but this isn't going to work for translating. Because it doesn't, I mean, it might work for Spanish, but it's not going to work for all languages. So let's replace this, I guess. Why can't we all have like a very similar language, right? Why can't they make it easy on my my deal here? I think it's TR, but I'm gonna copy one. Yeah, that's gonna be hard to find. It is this case though. Yeah, that's good. I think it. Oh, there's one right there. Yeah, that makes sense. It is, you know. We had a company do a security audit on us on last week in my work, and I knew it was coming up, and I've been thinking more about security, and it's just like he just kept talking about like the future is grim. Not just because of AI, but because there's, just the whole thing. It's just grim, man. And it's one of the like exposing shit to the. I can't go into any details. I'm not trying to be sly or anything, but it just, it's like definitely don't want to expose stuff to the world. What we're doing right here, we're gonna put this here, and then we're gonna put this here. Now, if I remember correctly, in reality, it's supposed to, I shouldn't have to do this, but it seems to only work sometimes. I think we got to go translate. Now it's like translate server. I got to add in some Godot thing. I got to remember. Oh. This is it. Yeah, so in a perfect world, I should be able just to put this in, and it would automatically translate it, but I that hasn't happened in the past, so I just put this whole translate thing. That was another recruiter. Oh, wait. I could have used that button. So it's translation server inside the thing. Translate. Get rid of this crap. Put this down here. Yeah, so I think that's one of the things too that is kind of interesting is that like the malicious actors, we'll call them, they kind of go in waves of like waves in of who they're attacking. Like, that sometimes they attack whatever police stations. It's obviously, and so a lot of it's about what money they can make. So but yeah, I think it's an interesting thing, and it's also I've mentioned this before. There's like if you secured everything as well as you wanted, the user wouldn't be able to use anything. It would be impossible. It'd be so painful that they wouldn't be able to do anything. So you have to like do this balancing act of you want it to be really secure, but you also want it to be usable, and then you also like, and then that needs to adjust sometimes. Like it slowly, I think this is what happens, at least to me. Like the usability keeps going up and up, and the security keeps going down, and then you got to go like, no, we need to go back to this like equilibrium, and then it starts going down to usability, and then uh, there's crazy stuff that happens where people are just like, oh yeah, so and so has been using my password forever, and I'm just like, but then when they do stuff, it makes it seem like you're doing that, you know, like for websites and stuff. As a node object, that's possible. That's totally possible. Why that, you know, recruiter is a public class, so that would make sense. That would make a lot of sense actually. Why? Where was that other one? Let's see if it's. I bet you it's in a public class. I bet you're right. Skill data as well. It's a resource, so it's not a node. Just making sure there. Skill data, population data is a public class, or no, it's a resource. Banker is a public class. Yeah, you're totally right. That's why it needs the node in there. Diplomacy makes sense. All right. So we was recruited by, blurp, blurp. Or maybe we should have done so-and-so recruited. What's more important? While I'm doing this, you know, might as well make it. You know what? I'm curious about something real quick. Translation to Spanish. Bill recruited Sally. So that might work. Sally was recruited by Bill. That would also seem like that works. What if we... Oh, well. All right. So I think we should just do recruited, actually. I wonder if I already have that word. Because I feel like I would. I don't have it here, but I see that those words are not alphabetized. What do we got to do here? Data sort. We want to do it by column A. And then doesn't look like we have it. Let's just do it one word. Let's go back. Let's delete this phrase out of here. I should have done that first. Phrase was recruited by. Control X does not work. Delete. Word. Recruited. And I got to keep that in mind, like at all times. Try to make it as did I say Control F? Control X. Control X. Recruited. You know how like you can just Control X the whole lines and shit. Translate. Okay, so let's go back to this thing. Space. Recruited. We got a bunch of extra things here. No, actually, we don't have a bunch of extra things here. Nice of them to add that extra stuff in there for me. There are a lot of slashes and shit in here. This doesn't need to be here. We need this to be gone. And we probably want a period at the end here. Get rid of that crap. We're missing that crap and that crap. And then let's move this down to here after all that crap. Then we're back to here. So we need to put this event log in. Recruiter needs to stop recruiting when there are no more people available. There is no... I was trying to think of what like instances where this could be wrong. Like, could there be like somebody who's there could be actually where people are added to the list, but you could just leave it on there. Yeah, so that would work. So basically what I was thinking is like, what happens if that population changes so that there suddenly is people to be recruited? You actually just, if you just leave the guy recruiting, he's going to keep recruiting forever. The thing is, he won't stop recruiting until he hits that max number or the player actually goes in and adjusts the number. So probably we want a button somewhere that just says stop, just to make life easier for the player. They can just hit stop recruiting and we'll just set the number to whatever he currently has. So first though, let's copy this thing. We'll get their full name. Cannot, this, I'm trying to think of a shorter way to write this. Cannot recruit, has recruited everyone available in, then we need to get the county name. That's a long thing. I would like that to be shorter. Cannot recruit anymore. Oh shit, another hour has passed. I really think we need the person's name in there because it's going to be hard to find these people. And also I think the county will be helpful. I almost put the county up here. And maybe we should. Do we have the county already set up in here? We do. So that'd be easy to add. We can actually do like this, actually. County data, county name. So that you know what county this is from. And then we do that. No more people to recruit. Yes, something like that. That's from, we could just put from, you know, like that get has recruited everybody in, how about has ran out of recruits. I'm also thinking, you know, this is not applying to this current circumstance, except in the future. I've been playing a lot of Stellaris, and some of their notifications and stuff are good, and some of them are really bad, and you gotta like hover over everything. And I was thinking like maybe we put like an icon of some sort down here at some point. Yeah, we're gonna have to figure out a better. I think. So I am pro words. This is like a thing that's come up in the past. I like a lot better when there's words in video games instead of icons. I find it like annoying sometimes, and there's so many icons, and you got to memorize what the fuck the icons mean, and sometimes the icons are kind of vague. Like I don't like that, but at the same time, I can see now from the developer side of why they do that, because you don't need to translate all this shit and this problem, you know. You just have a bunch of icons. Larry would be an icon. Wood would be an icon. You know, just be uh, uh, emojis. The whole game would just be emojis. All right, we're gonna put this thing in here. Has ran out of recruits. I don't think I like that. That happens to me all the time. I didn't know there was a name for it, but yes, there is that, like, constantly where, and I keep telling myself, like, don't worry about this shit. Wait until it's a problem later, and then we can go through and improve it. Because I'm like, so a lot of it is I'm worrying about stuff that I play a different game that has a similar mechanic, but they're doing it 100 times more hardcore. And I'm like, well, I mean, obviously theirs is optimized and stuff, but if it's 100 times more than what I'm doing, I shouldn't be worried about it, you know? No, yours is right. Yours is the better thing. The thing you wrote, because no more people to recruit. Because it doesn't matter which hero it is. Because let's say you have 2 heroes recruiting there, it doesn't matter. It just you just need to know what county it is. Yes, and this is a complete sentence, sort of. So we'll put this. The fuck was that? We'll put this over here with a period. And then we'll do phrase. No more people to recruit. Have I mentioned that I hate underscores? I mean, I know I've mentioned it at least 100 times. I hate underscores. All right, so then let's put this back over here. And let's do our little translation server thing. Come on, man. What do you have a home lab for? Just out of curiosity. You don't have to tell me. Are you nuts? We're missing one more. Yeah. Yeah, you will with all the zero money. It'd be interesting. So I don't know. Maybe, you know, I do want to. I'm not going to read this game for free, but well, that's the plan. I'm worried about it being considered shovelware. But yeah, there would be an interesting thing because a lot of their chat has helped a lot. All right, I'm going to take a quick break. Oh, it makes sense then. I have a friend who's like well, he was until like a couple weeks ago, like an admin, you know, system admin full stack developer, and he has like the crazy 45 servers. All right, I'm exaggerating, but it's a lot of servers and stuff, and it would be nice to test out stuff instead of, you know, I test all my stuff in the production environment. I'm just like, what the fuck does this button do? And then I push it, and then people freak out because I just broke everything. No, I mean, I do test it in production, but I usually pick one person I don't like, and I go, this is the person who's gonna get it. Let's see what it does to them. All right, I'm gonna take a quick break. What's going on over here? We got an X or one of these somehow. Nope. Oh, I see what's going on. We need another one, except this needs to be down here. There we go. All right, I'm going to take a quick break, and I will be back in less than 5 minutes. Let me put this up here. All right, I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. And let me start my music that you guys can hear. And can't remember if the song's good or not. This band that I'm listening to, Mother, has a lot of songs that start out good and then turn to dog shit. Let's get rid of this GD prim. We don't need that anymore. It's gonna appear. Let's test it. So we'll put in like 50, recruit the 3 or 2 people that we can. It is a slightly random number, if I remember correctly. It might not be for that. It might be for just these side ones. The number of people that are available. Oh. Restart. Automated test. The things that I do, an automated test wouldn't work. Wouldn't tell me what I need to know. Uh, it's just like dumb stuff, permissions and things. I don't do anything high level in my job. It's mostly like help desk stuff. So it's nothing. It's nothing. Yeah, it's that thing. It's that thing. It's those errors. Recruited. I haven't updated to that. Have they fixed that problem? I'm staring at this because I'm like, I don't know how I feel about what that says. I'm not gonna worry. No more people to recruit. um, so it's gonna keep saying that every day, which I actually am okay with. Because the player needs to do something. Probably what we'll do, and I'll put this in our GitHub project, is have a little notification up here. Because the hero is going to be stuck. He's going to be trying to recruit forever now. Like he's not going to do any other work or anything. And if you click this, it should actually, so it will kick him to scavenge now, but when it does its daily check, it's actually going to kick him back, I think. Yeah, it is. So that's not going to, these aren't going to do you any good. In fact, there's a couple of things we got to do. Let's add a couple of things to this list, wherever the fuck this list is. So first off, disable all hero activity buttons when a hero is recruiting. We'll do that. Yep. Blank issue. Yep. And then what was the other thing? There was something else. I was like, there was two things. Oh, we want to put it on our activity. We're going to probably need to do like the same thing that Paradox does, where they have the ability, you can turn off certain notifications. When a hero is recruiting, but there are no more people to recruit in a county. Blank issue. You know, I meant to look at the change logs. I noticed they were, yeah, they're going to 4.5 already. I think Joker messaged me, and I want to not have to update all the time. I want to get on a real stable. This one isn't stable. I want to get on a real stable one and stick to that for a while and let someone else do the testing. You know, I'm tired of running into new issues every time I update. Which is what you would expect, I guess, because it is, you know, release candidates or dev versions or whatever. But I want to wait until other people test the bugs. So I'm also thinking it's possible that it's related to that Godot folder. Problem. It probably is, and I should test that, but I don't know. I just haven't gotten around to it. I've been lazy, hanging out, sleeping, playing video games, eating frozen pizzas. So we have this all set up. So the way it's gonna work is how it's just gonna sit there warning them every day, like, hey, your guy's sitting here. But we definitely 100% need to add in a button that says stop recruiting right here. And we need to change this from number of subordinates to be like how we did it with the resources, because like this is the number and then this is the number you're trying to recruit, because it's kind of this isn't the number of resource or number of subordinates. This is how many you want. The number of subordinates is 3, so it'd be like 3 of 9. Yeah, it's it's. I was happy with the 4.3 until I heard that they'd have the dictionary things. But now I'm wondering. So I'm rethinking the whole thing because of I think you might have been part of this conversation too, but maybe not. Bumblebite came into chat and he was talking about how he does all of his stuff in text files, basically. So he doesn't use resources, but he does it in text files, so it's easier for modding. Since my game's open source, it's kind of a different story because anyone could download it. Like, let's say the game was finished, they could download it and modify it. But the problem with that is then they gotta release their own copy of it, their own fork of it. So I need to put in, prepare for like different mods that change things. So I need to probably start saving everything to just like a file, which would change how I'm doing everything, basically. I basically set myself up for failure. But you can edit the resource files straight from here. So if you go into like in here, you can edit these perk files and stuff, like if the game was finished, but we would have to send it like a pack out that was different. But you can't edit these things to a point. Like if you edit this part, it's all over. But you can edit these things. But one of the things that I've been playing some Kinshi lately, and one of the mods that I installed was like better pathfinding. And I should probably look at the files. But I was wondering, like, do they have the logic of pathfinding, like just in a plain text somewhere that it can be replaced? Like, that seems strange to me. Like, that sort of logic should be compiled or whatever it's called these days. Yeah, I just don't know. Like, how do they usurp that ability? I should do some modding of something to see how it's done, probably. We finished something here. Let's go back over here. Yeah. Okay, let's do this one because this is gonna annoy the shit out of me. We did this one. This is done. It doesn't happen. So we can just close this ticket. I was gonna delete it for some reason. And we fix this. And we got to add a new thing to this list. Make the subordinate button open the subordinates population description page. But we're going to do this one first. Man, this thing gets so lagged out. I wonder if I need to archive all of the done things again. I'm going to do it. $25 says there's 82. I assume this is, yeah, see, come on, man. Is this in JavaScript? is this JavaScript's problem? Yeah, so we got to add this to our list too. Speaking of it, because I would like to have things. I like to have things on my list so I can check them off, and so I don't forget about them. Recruitees activity should change. Should count down once recruited. A recruitee's activity or number of days. Oh my God, this is so slow. Don't these people get paid well? Once recruited, a recruitee's number of days until recruitment. Is that what I was calling that thing? To service start. Number of days to service start should count down. Then their activity should change to service. Currently, though, so during that time period, they'll continue working and doing what they were doing before, because that's supposed to be like them wrapping up their affairs. Because they're entering service. Then what was the other thing we had on here? They try three. Currently, they'll be stuck for. They'll keep trying forever. So we're gonna have to add this in. It's not gonna happen at that point. Well, that part might actually happen at that point. Hero should attempt recruiting 3 times, then give up each time with a small loyalty adjustment to the lowering. Loyalty lowering? I was thinking that a lowering, because it'd be like annoying to be attempted to be recruited to someone's service, but maybe it should go up a little bit, and then if it fails completely, then it goes down. It's like you spend 3 days talking to the person, like, come on, man, like, and trying to convince them, not in an aggressive way, but then if it fails, yeah, each time with a small bonus until it fails, then a larger loyalty penalty. So that's going to be kind of interesting to write, because I have a feeling it's going to be a little more complicated than I'm thinking right this second, which I guess since I'm thinking it's going to be more complicated than I'm thinking, it's probably is as complicated as I'm thinking. You know what I mean? All right, but let's do this thing. This. Because we're running out of time. And I know I'm usually very punctual, but today I actually have something I have to do after work. Work? After streaming. Man. So, gotta have my shit together. So let's turn this thing back on and take a look at what's going on with these V-boxes. I think the V-box grows to whatever size, but I think this thing's outside of it is the problem. Bumblebee, how's it going? I wish that was the case. Day jobs and I was just talking about putting everything in a text file. How do they do that? I was saying in Kinshi, somebody released a mod that changed the pathfinding, and I was like, isn't that shit like hard coded in? Like, how do they overwrite the logic? So it seems to me how is this thing? Oh, did I just type this in here? What if I? Okay, that didn't do anything. What is this hitting to stop it from? Because we know there's another one in here. Putting the kids to sleep. I'm doing good. So this guy... Where is this thing sitting? So this thing is inside this thing. This thing is... Why do we have a panel container here? This thing... includes this. All right, this is going to get kind of... I think this needs to be inside this. Oh, look at that big gap it put, though. Yeah, so I definitely don't want it packed. I've messed with the packed thing before, and I wonder why I have a panel container in here. I wonder if this was just some sort of organization thing. I have one on the other side, too. Is this thing... The recruit army button is inside this. So make sure here. It looks like it should be here. Yeah, it's crazy. Then you have to read it in. It's weird to me. I'm old school, I guess. Or just old. Out of touch. Old, out of touch. What are them kids doing these days? Damn kids. Do I care about this? I mean, that solved that problem. It's weird, though. Why alignment begin? Like, do I care? Like, this solves that problem. And everything's still here. We got all of our equipment. Don't we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we got 5 of them. Let's look at it in actual in actual usage here. You know, I always talk about this computer that I ran into when I was a kid. It was in a library on the coast of Oregon, and it had a tape deck that you read, you know, into. It was like an Apple IIe, I think. Exactly. So I went there, and somehow I must have been telling like the librarian that I was into computers, and they were like, "Oh, we have this computer that no one can figure out." And so, like, it, you know, it had the manuals and stuff, but it just was sitting in a box. You know, like the federal government had sent it to them. You know, and this is back when this computer was considered a little bit outdated, but not that. And so I figured out how to get all these games to work. And so then the other kids that hung out at the library thought I was a god. But I read it from cassette tape. And the other thing is the librarian lady let me take the thing that read, you know, the cassette player, which had like a speaker on it, because even though the speaker, when you're loading this stuff, it's not using the speaker. But I was able to take it home and listen to tapes. Oh, look at this. The close button's fucked up now. All right, that's fine. Well, I mean, we're going to fix it. Yeah, recruit those people. Get crazy. We're going to have to make this better, too, because it's hard to it's too... Yeah, it's too whatever. All right, we need more. We need more. All right, we got enough. You know, I think this is fine for now. We just got to fix this close button. No, it's working. That's working. I think. Was there something? I just don't like how it looks. Like the different colors were to help distinguish between, the different things. It's just hard to read. But let's see. So let's look at this close button. What happened here? I'll go back up here. Oh, look at this. This whole thing's now pushed over. Oh, look at the top. Oh, look at that. Yeah. So that like shifted everything up a little bit. I was about to say, don't I have a margin container in here? Yes, everything's sitting on top of this margin container. Margin container theme. Oh, we had some theme on here that I flip-flop back and forth with the themes. So this isn't going to work. See, this is the problem with themes, is like every page is slightly different. So in this particular case, we want to be able to see this stuff on the left-hand side, but we don't want to see these buttons on the right-hand side. So we'll probably have to put like a blocker panel. That's usually what I do, is I just put like a blocker panel that just covers that shit up. It just makes it, that's like the easiest way I've seen so far. We could disable the buttons, but the problem is that they'll still be there in the background. So what is the margin container thing? What do we got on here? I can't remember where this shit is. Here it is. We have a margin of 31. Oh, but the thing is, it looks like it is 31, but the whole thing moved up a tiny bit. Yeah, it did. It seems like this should be constrained inside of here. What does this thing say? This is when you get into the real hell of the UI, is when you get a little weird bug like this and you got to spend 45 minutes figuring out the problem. Sometimes, not in this case because I got so much going on, but in the past I've noticed sometimes it's easier just to blow everything away and start over, because it's almost like sometimes it's a problem. Something has changed, buried so deep down, and it's like really hard to find what the problem is. So what is this thing's size? Yeah, so the Y is too big, and you can't put a maximum size, and its position's now off. Can we just reset this? So why isn't that automatically going out to the side? Yeah, I've noticed when I blow stuff away too, like it's now these are all so complicated that it'd be a huge amount of work, but a lot of times when I would blow stuff away before, it would okay, so it's part of this thing. It would actually, I would come up with a better way to, not a different way to do it, let's say. Not necessarily better. So when I go to the full thing, that's when it does this. And that was definitely, so I wonder why. It actually like made the a noise. I had to explain what a battery. I've actually had this do this a couple of times recently. That there's a battery inside computers, to keep the clock. To my coworkers. What if we temporarily, I'm going to save this, get rid of this? It doesn't do anything. That surprises me that that doesn't do anything. So what's the point of having this in here if it doesn't do anything? So what are you doing, panel container? So you, though, are right. Except you're not right. Okay, so the population, the control is right. It's this thing is thrown off by a tiny something. It's this, but I don't know why this would cause the problem. It's going outside. It's like this is too big. So that's probably what it is. This is too big now when we made this. So the only way it can compensate is by exploding it out more, because we probably have it on fit. So we need to reduce the size of something, and I bet you that will solve the problem. So what do we got? Like, these have big gaps and shit between them. It's gonna be, so when I move, it was when I moved these things inside that it made this box bigger, I think, and that pushed this box down. I think that's what happened. So what do we got above this? We have another margin container. What? Is it annoying? I thought it was just a Godot and me thing. It's good to hear that other programming has also, other languages also have. So we have like some theme over right here. So we have 35 on the top margin and 51 on the bottom margin. So that's holding these things up here. So that's holding. Okay, there's another problem. All right, so this is the issue. We can't put this inside that VBox container. This does have to be inside this container. And then the same with the left one, because we are turning off one of those. Maybe that's why this panel container was here. Then we're back to this problem though. So why would this thing, because it's outside, we need to make sure that wrong side here. This thing doesn't overlap here. Round Magnet, how's it going? I don't know. You're talking about the UI usage? I have no idea. Or UI, or just in general. This is the only thing I've used for any UI stuff. But it sounds like the other people in chat know more. Have you used Godot? So this, we probably, I wonder if we change this to like 20, what happens? That's not going to really solve our problem though. I mean, it does solve our problem, but it's not going to, it's not a real solution. I mean, we can mush this. We are going to slowly mush this down, and it's like, look at how big that gap is compared, the gaps between these things compared to these ones. So we're going to want to do that at some point, but we don't give a shit right now. We're going to do, you're planning to start game development? That's pretty awesome. I actually have really enjoyed the learning process. Sometimes it's frustrating as fuck, but generally, Okay, so here's our problem. This thing is too... We need this thing to be up a tiny bit. It's weird that it's so close. What is holding you in place? We got the title. Yeah, I totally thought it was just like a... And in fact, um, people have said in chat that it is a me thing. that, that like once you get used to it, once you get get good at UI stuff, it comes very easy, and like an experienced person who master of UI would immediately know what the solution for this was. I heard a noise, but I don't see a thing over here. Round, thank you for the follow. Didn't show up on my thing. OBS. I don't have it. UI container margin. So they're similar for like everything, or just in general. So if you're gonna start, what kind of game do you have in mind? What kind of game are you planning to, or do you not have? If you don't have a game in mind, that works too. Basically, my answer to that is start simple. Don't do what I've done. Start very simple. Are you going to use GD script or C sharp? So I need to somehow mush these a tiny bit. And I noticed I don't have a minimum size. So maybe it is... This should be shrink. Let's not fuck with this one, actually. That one was fill. So that's the inventory one. Let's go to this one and put this one. So when I first started, I wanted to do like a gladiator game that was like 3D and stuff, and I knew it would be quite challenging, but I found like I knew that I could find like tutorials and stuff, and I was using Unity at the time, and the animations and stuff were so hard. Like coming from no experience, like fucking with animations was so overwhelmingly frustrating. Like I was able to duplicate this tutorial and get it to work, and I was pretty stoked on that. But the minute I wanted to do something outside the scope of the tutorial, especially with the animations, it was so agonizing. And then I was like, well, I'll make the same thing 2D instead, because it was a 3D one. And that was much better with the like figuring out animations, just similar game, but just taking out that third dimension. And then I was like, I need to make an even simpler game, and then I kept just going. just kept going simpler and simpler and simpler. But I also was coming from a background of like no experience, like no. And I there's a lot of stuff that I wish I would have known that there was tutorials for with C sharp stuff that's assumed when you're, let's say you're going to do a tutorial, you're going to watch a tutorial on like how a button works or how to make a button in Godot work, They're already assuming you know what like this means. Which you you should know, but I didn't. You know what I mean? So then or like what a namespace is and stuff. Like they're already assuming you have a certain level of knowledge, but I was coming from zero knowledge, and so like in Visual Studio, it would tell me like you got to have a namespace, and it'd be like, okay. I understand that, and so the real beginning of the story is I also tried to like make a game like 6 years ago or something with Godot 3.0, and it took me like 6 hours to get the escape key to work. And I was so frustrated by that point. It wasn't Godot's problem. It was, once again, me coming from the lack of any kind of knowledge. And I didn't even know that Godot GD script was like Python based at that time. And once I figured that out, it made everything a lot easier. But like that 6 hours to get the escape button to pop up like a panel like on here, like what I'm doing with this close thing. I don't have any keys, hotkeys for this, but we are going to have to do an escape thing soon. But I like to just get up a panel. If your friend gave up, it's really easy to get frustrating. And I think one of the keys is when you run into something, and this is what I have chat to help me. So pretend like you don't have chat to help me or to help you unless you're going to stream it. But if you run into something too hard, maybe it's time to like go simpler and then keep going simpler. Not saying restart the game, but that mechanic go simpler and then go simpler. You know what I mean? And that's what, like, break it down and keep going simpler because you do get, at least I do, I get like a kind of a rush of excitement when I solve a problem. And so if you can break the problems down into the simplest thing, that solving that problem sometimes gives you that fun rush to carry on, you know. Well, if you already know Python and C++, then it should be a breeze. Because you can do C++ and GD script, which is very similar. This thing though, we got to get this thing. They're weird for else code. This thing. I guess the thing is, don't get demoralized, because it happens to everyone. So this one is set to fill. Let's put this to shrink center and see what. Okay, so that's kind of interesting. So then this thing, shouldn't you, why aren't you filling this up there, friend? What did I just change? Okay, it was this one. This one, yeah, GD script is similar to Python. And there are a lot of tutorials in Casper. Sorry, I saw your message and then I didn't say anything because I was yammering about it. Does seem like there's suddenly a lot more people. I don't know if did like a big game come out that was made in Godot or something. Okay, that's not doing what I was hoping. Oh, because that's not in. What's going on here? Oh, that's an H box. That's the problem. I mean, that's not a problem. That's what. So this is a child of this one. Shouldn't it? What is keeping this thing from expanding? So it's hitting the edge of this? I don't have any like manual things. Thanks, man. Have a good sleep. You get angry, Bumblebite? Sometimes I do too. I try to not let it get to me because I like occasionally a bug will fucking drive me crazy and I can't sleep because I'm thinking about it. So what is keeping this thing? So this is horizontal. It's set to fill, but this doesn't do anything because it's hitting. Okay, so one of these things I think is holding this open, which is what we want, but it's. Okay, so this is kind of what I was looking for. What is keeping this thing though? Like, is it hitting this? What is this? See, this is still overlapping though. What's it? EMR streamer. I'm always at a loop. Okay, so this is a V-box. This whole thing is a V-box. So and that has all this stuff in it. And then there's another V-box inside that V-box. And then, do we need that V-box inside the V-box? What if I put this up here? Yeah, we don't need this V-box. Oh, well, it made that worse. It made that problem worse. You know, this bug does demoralize me. This error that wherever it's hidden here. This thing. Um, there was one a while ago. It was probably a year ago or something. There was I had a bug that appeared right at the beginning of a stream, and back to my lack of debugging skills, I actually, like, the minute I stopped, so for like 3 hours I just banged my head on this bug, and people in chat were trying to help and everything, but we couldn't figure it out. And then the minute I stopped streaming, I figured it out, and that one like kind of made me mad because I look like such a fool. So let's get rid of this V-box since we don't seem to need it, even though I think this is being used somewhere. But we have another one, this H box. We can use the H box instead. I think what I was trying to do with that was make it so that this... Maybe that's why I was using those panel containers earlier, is so that these were like more broken apart. But this actually makes this problem worse, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Yeah, isn't that the worst? Looking like a fool? I think so. I think the reason this is actually pushing this down is because of that separation thing. Where was that? Where was I? Which one of those? Which module? It's got to be this. No, it's going to be... Is this going to cause me to do where I just tear everything apart? Where was it? It was... This is the right V-box. It was this. I mean, we can just wing it. We can just wing it like that. And just say, good enough. What's this thing doing, though? It's fine? Oh, shit. Do you have graphics with your tic-tac-toe? You know, I think a lot of I think a lot of the things are all in my head too. My mom has always, like, since I was a kid, whenever, you know, you had an issue with any issues, you know, oh, you're just projecting your issues on the other person. And sometimes that would be extremely frustrating to be like, no, Mom, this person really is a piece of shit, you know. Yeah, but that's what I was talking about, starting small. Like, I should have started even smaller, because it also makes you think differently. That other dude was he was already a developer, so he probably has he's a lot farther ahead than where I started. But there's a lot of, I'm trying to think. I was messing around with it's called the door problem actually. Where, is a door open? Is a door closed? Is a door locked? Is it unlocked? Can the player interact with it? I started messing around with something with doors, and I ran into that exact problem. And I was thinking about, like, an experienced developer would have thought about that, would have known to prepare for that pain, but I didn't even know to prepare. And it's a very simple idea. That it was just like you just walking around a grid. It's very tic-tac-toe-y actually, and you like walk around a grid. I don't think it will run. Otherwise, I think it's got a bug or something. I'm going to run 2 Godot instances at once, and we'll see how that works out. This is like an ancient version of, I haven't run it. Oh, it's doing this one too. Yeah, it doesn't work. But basically, this dot would be the player, and there was like things. There was doors. And it might just be hidden. I don't remember what I was working on last. So the thing's supposed to be down in this right hand corner. It looks like whatever issue I was working on turned off the little map, but there was there was like all these doors and whatever. I don't even. Yeah, nothing's working. I don't remember what point I was at. But anyways, it's like stuff like that is like I should have started with something simpler like this to encounter those things, because this should be relatively, so one of the reasons I stopped working on this is because the more I thought about it, the more monumental the task that I was like, this is simple. No, dude. Like what I was like, basically it's like a roguelike, but with more intelligent conversation, which is fucking insane. Doodling. that day that I was stuck. This has happened twice, but one time it was like the whole stream where I was stuck on a thing, and we tried everything, and then I immediately thought of a way to solve the problem after that, with just by putting the variable that I needed to check in process and just having it whatever. See, if I was better at debugging. What were we doing though? I'm gonna wrap this up here. Bumblebite, did you start out with a simple game? Yeah, no, there was all sorts of, so that's the problem with every game that I started out. I think, oh, this is gonna be simple, and then I keep expanding the scope. I'm that scope creep asshole. How many years have you guys everyone been programming? Add them up. All right, let's make sure that this shit is, hey, let's hit play right here. Let's close this one. Does it show the output here? Oh, we have this open. Oh, so we were on this. Let's fix this real quick. When I say real quick. Oh, so that actually made the whole screen worse, though. By moving that, it fixed the one thing, but it pushed where's my, oh, it doesn't. Let's see what happens when we run it for real here. Duke Nukem 3D. So you have got years of experience. Oh, okay. So this is fixed on that part, but what happens if we recruit 50 people? I'm gonna delete this. Well, let's not do it right now. We just chill out. 1985. So that's around when I got my first computer too. I got an Apple IIe. Uh, and me and my friend, my neighbor, did programming in BASIC. It had games though, and we shared games. Let's see if this is. So that solved the problem. Let's delete this thing. Let's do this. Let's push this code. What did we do today? I feel like this is another one of those where like my day didn't feel like I accomplished anything. We just had an extra too many inventory V boxes in here, huh? And even we didn't like it's not even used in anything. I went a little overboard. Yeah, his dad, my neighbor's dad, my friend neighbor worked at Intel and was a programmer, so he would like come and try to give us tips on programming. Yeah, what programming language was that you were using? All right, so we actually did do a few things. Recruiting now recruits the correct number of subordinates, and well, we didn't test if they fired them, so we should probably test that. I mean, not test it, but put it on my list. Test firing subordinates. One day that word will stick in my head. We tried to make text games like Zork, and we would make them at our houses, and then we would exchange them. I don't know how we were exchanging. I guess we were saving a floppy disk. And they were very primitive, but it was still fun as fuck as like a 10-year-old to make like have your friend play your game where he can move to 2 rooms. They weren't rooms, and push a button that had them fight an orc or something. Both of us would make our games too hard though. Like you pushed a button to fight and you always just died. There was no other option except for death. Like that was it. I don't know why we were doing that, if we were trying to punish each other or something. Like, oh, you can't win my game? All right. Did we push this thing? No. And doesn't recruit when a hero is moving. All right, let's commit all. Those guys. So I remember one of them that was like, so Zork was okay and all that. Like I have fond memories, but there was one called like Spellbreaker or something. Breaker, text adventure. And yeah, this one was the one that I like really liked, but it was I think it was like at a friend's house, so I couldn't play it at my house. They're also, I don't know if you guys ever played that 2D scroller that's Alice in Wonderland. That game was fucking insane for its time. I mean, it was like never ending. But I remember that one being really good. I'm reading this and I didn't know that I didn't remember that it was part of the Zork world. interactive fiction, huh? Puzzles, the spell system. Twisted, the spells are now unreliable. Like, I wonder, whenever I, like, see it's, like, just made by one guy, like, whatever happened to this person? Are they, like, you know, a huge... I don't know, this link thing isn't bringing me the link that I want. Yeah, so I find it really interesting. So my cousins who are like 10 years younger than me, 10, 15 years younger than me, he does have a mad scientist look. Less so in this picture. In that other picture, he definitely did. And they have a completely different take on computers and stuff. Like, some of them don't even own computers, and I feel like it's crazy that, you know, I saw the birth of the internet and stuff, and then like the next generation could care less, and then like the generation after that seems to be more like more into it. But I don't know like what young kids are into, like if they care about the internet, or if it's just phone stuff. So all my cousins are definitely have cell phones, or into cell phones. I'm about to say that that's not true. Some of my cousins are just not into the cell phone thing. It's like they saw the beginning of it and they was like, meh. Is that how big this game was? No. Search for level 9 text adventure. They've been, let me, well, I will 1 second here. Oh man, he's sold out. He's sold out. After Infocom's end in 1989, he worked on a GUI spreadsheet program, Join Avid. Man, he like worked on some poor guy. All right, let's see. What was it called? Level 9 text adventure with an S. Oh, is this like some competitor for the Zork people? Or are these the Zork people? I thought Zork was made by I can't remember. Level 9 developed their own interpreted language, A code, around 1979. I was fucking 5. Stinko Wings, how's it going? I'm about to wrap my stream up here. In fact, did I push this shit? Yes. And it's to the right thing. And let's close this. We're talking about old text adventures. No. It's okay. I like getting distracted. Fantasy, space invasion, bomber, and missile defense. Like, why is there no links to these? Lords of Time. Look at that cover. Look at this shit. Like, don't you wish video games had covers like that? Dude, as a kid, right? I'm sold. It's a fucking wizard. Like, literally. It's like practically Gandalf on there. There was this other game. I looked it up. You're too young. You're... Yeah, exactly. With it like the thing coming out. Was that the universe? I didn't even know that was. I'm trying to think of the way to... I've looked this game up like 10 times. So I don't recognize any of these names. But the thing is, I could have played them, but, you know, it's so old. My mind's gone. There was, 9 Princes in Amber. Do you guys know that Roger Zelazny series? There was a text one of those, too. That was crazy. But that's not the game I was trying to think of. There was a strategy game. 1985. Oh, this is the game I was talking about the other day, Stinkle Wings. No, it's not that one. I'm trying to think of a way to narrow this down. Party based. I'll never find it. I've found it multiple times, but it's taken me like hours. But there was this old game that I remember. I'm looking for things I've clicked on before. Not King's Bounty. Maybe it was later. No, it was definitely earlier than that. Anyways, there's like this turn-based game that like has some of the foundations of like how I think about strategy games, turn-based strategy games, like party-based strategy games. They're all because of this one game. I feel like that I used to play that was incredibly ridiculously hard. Your people could die. There was shield facing, like where your shields were. The graphics were dog shit, you know. But at the time, they were like amazing. Wish I could remember the name of it. I've looked it up, like I said, multiple times. It was early. Seeing if there was some other category down here. Nah. Fields of Glory. I own that one. Yeah, that's. But I saw missile defense too, but I don't know if that was actually the missile defense we were talking about, or we would know. But yeah, it's the imagination stuff too is kind of. I don't know. I feel like sometimes that's not used as much anymore, but I don't know if that's like old man talk is what I'm trying to say. Like, of course everyone uses their imagination, like for if you're playing D&D and stuff. I don't know. Anyways, if I ever think of this game, I'll post it on my Discord, even though I think I did post it on my Discord once and I've already forgotten about it. But oh shit. I have someone coming to my house at 1, but I want to be prepared. and I have cameras at my house, and I thought one of them was saying someone was here. Oh yeah. Like you had to actually read the logs. A lot of times in games where there's a log over there, you know, my eyes are only looking for certain stuff. But yeah, reading books is also dying, I feel like. But but once again, that could just be some old man talk. Is that your safe word, Joker? All right. I gotta go though. Thank you guys for joining me. I will probably stream next week. 99% chance to stream next weekend. When I woke up this morning, I didn't have internet, so I was worried I wouldn't be able to stream today. So 99% chance I will stream next weekend. Anyways, thank you guys for joining me. I will talk to you next time. I'll raid to someone next week. All right. Thanks.